Hi guys, this isn't an inbox review. This is just a buddy build announcement. My dear friend in Birmingham, Al Wood, and I have agreed to do a buddy build on this particular kit, the Tamiya Airfix. The Tamiya Panzer Kampfwagen 2, Ausf F and G. This is the earliest rendition of the Panzer 2 that Tamiya did, and a good friend of his gave him a kit a couple of weeks back, and he asked me if we could do a buddy build on these two kits, as I did the inbox review on it like early last week. Um, I've agreed to do that. The problem is, Al, is that I'm a bit naughty because I actually started this kit Thursday afternoon. So although there's not much progress done on it, it has actually been started. Sorry about that. But it was started Thursday afternoon, and I think I remember in our correspondence, I did mention that I was going to start this Thursday afternoon or Thursday evening, and I started work on it before I went to work Thursday evening because I'm a night shift. I'm a night shift worker. There was an incident with an inbox review that I did earlier last week as well. Sorry, earlier this week as well, with a Hawk 75 SMER kit. And one of my subbers said, "Oh my God, you've put your address on the envelope." Well, good luck trying that address because I haven't lived there for 2.5 years. That's really why I wasn't that bothered about it. So anyway, I'm doing the buddy build with my good friend Al. I think he's going to be doing one of the tank grey colour schemes, and I think if he uses the decals that are available in this kit, I think they're both Eastern Front options. Late 1941 and early 1942, I believe. But I'll be doing the desert yellow colours from the Africa Corps. I don't know what it is, but I have an affiliation with desert yellow tanks from the North African campaign. The actual environment where they fought and where the armies, the German and the British armies, fought one another, and eventually the Americans got involved after Operation Torch. The environment lends itself very well to warfare because there's very little chance that civilians can get injured in the crossfire because basically you're just fighting in open, barren rock and sand. It's an ideal environment, and I think you know with the fact that the tanks and the vehicles that fought in that environment became very dry weathered is definitely the term. I just prefer building them. I just prefer building them in those schemes, and I've always been a sort of an interest in the North African campaign because my father actually fought during the Wavell Push in the North Africa campaign during World War Two because he was in the Royal Artillery and he actually manned 25 pounders in that campaign. And he often told me a few stories here and there. So this is the kit. I'm sorry, Al, but I have started it. But as you'll see, there's not an awful lot of work done. Basically, what I've done is I've done the first section, um, which involves putting these two hooks on the front and putting the drive sprocket axles in place from inside and putting the rear bulkhead in place for the exhaust system. And that's basically it. I haven't done anything else to the kit whatsoever. That section is now basically ready to start painting the chassis and the wheels desert yellow, and the road tyres, of course, which will be done rubber black. So, whoops, more butterfingers today. So that's basically the kit I'll be building. I don't know when Al's starting it, but I've already started mine. I'm hopefully going to get this finished sometime in May if I can. But I have got other projects on the go. I also wanted to mention a couple of buddy builds that I had to drop out of. One of them was the Bomber Command buddy build. I've already done a final reveal on the Ferry Battle Target Tug, which would have been involved with the diorama on that, along with a B Mark 1 gunnery training short Sterling. The short Sterling is it's pretty much near complete in terms of build. I've just basically got to put the undercarriage and wheels on it and start getting that painted up. The B-29, which would have been an additional build for the Bomber Command, which would have been built up as a Boeing B-1 Washington, that kit is also pretty much up together, and it just really requires a few finishing touches before the paint starts going on. So that's the extent of the progress on that. I wanted to finish subjects because I find the subjects really interesting, and I wanted to build the B1 Washington in particular because um, there aren't many people who knew about the B1s being in service with the RAF, but they were actually a stopgap until the arrival of either smaller nuclear bombs or aircraft capable of carrying nuclear bombs, which of course would have been in the guise of the V bombers. But eventually the Canberra, before the V bombers were even in service, the Canberra was able to accommodate the new generation bombs which came out in the early 50s, which were small enough to go into a Canberra's bomb bay. And the other diorama, which I needed to drop out of because I just simply haven't got the time to build it as a diorama, is the D-Day diorama for HMS Belfast. Now I am still building her as HMS Belfast circa June the 4th, 1944, because this is something else a lot of people don't realise, but D-Day was originally scheduled for June the 5th, but they had to cancel it because of bad weather and postpone it for 24 hours. But of course everything was all ready to go on June the 4th to open up the barrages at midnight on June the 5th, but unfortunately the weather turned really nasty and they decided to postpone it. So Belfast is still going to be built up in the correct colours and the way she would have been in June 1944. So that you know, I still wanted to build that kit, but I'm dropping it as a diorama option. But I'm still going to be entering the other diorama option that Martin knows about. So that's basically the updates. I know, sorry Al, I know it's supposed to be a buddy build intro, but I wanted to incorporate some of the updates that I've got going on as well, so that people know what's going on. So anyway, I hope your build goes well, Al, and you can start it whenever you like. I have, it seems to be, and yeah, it'll be interesting to see the finished products on both these two kits. So once again, thanks Al for organising this and inviting me for this buddy build. I wouldn't have known about your second kit unless you informed me, and I think it makes model building a little bit more interesting. So I'll see you for the next inbox review, which will probably be coming up late next week, and I hope all your modelling projects are going fine, and I'll see you for the next one, lads. Bye bye for now.